this video, I'll be sharing with you why I want to quit my current 5-digit per month job to do, well, nothing. Well, actually, to without another job lined up. If you like this video, do subscribe and I am very grateful for that. So in this video, I'll be covering the why I quit my corporate job. So let me share with you. Well, the first reason is because of survival, and you might be wondering, I thought we need a job for survival. Well, let me explain, all right? So, I was actually looking at my finances recently, and what I realized that I am a very low spender, or I have very low expenses. So basically I need money for air, water, food, and shelter. And apart from that, what I really need was Wi-Fi and a device that can go online. Well, I don't really fancy traveling. I don't really fancy eating at high-end restaurants. I don't even really fancy shopping. I mean, if you were to ask me to go shopping, I literally just walk through the shopping center, grab a bite here and there, and that's it. I'm not a shopping person. I'm not a traveling person. Basically, as long as my laptop is working, my Wi-Fi is not too slow, I can live my whole day with them. I mean, and plus with my kids as well. So I realized that I don't really spend a lot of money, so why do I need to work so hard then, right? Next, I am a morning person, so you might be wondering, so what has being a morning person got to do with quitting your job? Well, I am a morning person, and morning is the time where I am the happiest. Okay, and as the day goes by, I get grouchier and more unhappy and less alert. And by the time I end work, which is evening and night, where I can get to spend time with my family and my loved ones, I will be a grouchy, unalert person who can't think properly. Alright? And this leads to quite a lot of problems. So for example, I get snappy with my kids. So if my kid were to do something silly or they were to not follow my instructions, sometimes I just snap. Will be like, why are you doing this? Why are you not doing what I'm saying? I'm doing this for your good, for your sake, and you're not following. I mean, and it is a chain reaction, right? So when I snap at my kids will snap back, and I think in the long run it's not good for family. And sometimes I wonder, will it affect them psychologically as well? I mean, I'm not abusive, but I just snap and becomes impatient over things that they do. Also, with my husband, sometimes we quarrel easily because simply because we are tired, right? And also the evenings and the nights are the time where I am not the best form. So I was wondering, why am I living my best self for work and not the best self, or not my best self for my family, right? Isn't this weird? All right, this another factor that leads me to want to quit my job is family, right? All I have 3 kids, and all of them are less than 6 years old at the time of this video. And I realized that through my years of working, I have actually missed out a lot of milestones. So my job, so pre-COVID days, I was a traveling consultant. So I traveled from countries to countries. So I'm literally traveling every other week, and except for every other week and on weekends, I'm not at home. And I feel that I realized that I've missed out a lot on my child's development. So for my oldest daughter as well as for my son, I missed out a lot on their milestone. I recall for my second son, he first stand up when I was away. And literally, I watched a delayed telecast of him standing out. So what happened was my husband filmed a video of him wobbling to stand up and sent it to me while I was overseas. And I watched him or I watched his first standing. I watched him stand for the first time through a video, not physically. I wasn't there to cheer for him when he first stand up. Well, it was a milestone for him and for me as a parent, and I didn't see it myself. I saw it through the lens or saw it through the video of my husband. And I thought, why am I missing this out? What's so great about this overseas job that I am doing at that point in time? Does it change my life? Does it give me anything more or than seeing my son standing up? Right. And going forward, there might be many milestones that I would miss just because I am working, or there are many milestones that I would be forced to miss just because I am working, right? You can't take leave anytime you like. You can't be absent from work anytime or for long periods of time because basically you just have 15 days of leave per year, right? So I don't want to miss out any of the milestones with my kids, and that is one of the determining factor. And also, my kids are only young once, right? So after this, they will have their own life and they wouldn't really need me when they are older. I mean, maybe in like 5 to 10 years time, they will rather be with their friends, just like I spend less time with my parents now that I have my own family, right? And they do understand that it's just a matter of life that we progress and we move on with other people. So at this point in time where they would love to spend all their time with us, why am I not spending time with them? Right? Okay, and apart from this, another factor that made me quit was I don't really love my job, right? I mean, I work because I need to work. I work because I think I should work so that I get money to support the family. Okay? But I realized that, hey, maybe I don't really need that money. Even if I get the money, it doesn't really change much of my life. I'll explain more about that later. But let's go back to uh work. I don't really enjoy working actually, and I do my job just for the sake of doing it with no desire. I know I have colleagues who try to grab the most shiny project, try to be as visible as possible, but I really don't care because after so many years of working, I realize I am the bee, the bumblebee at work. Okay, so I am good at working, but I am not good at socializing, making political ties to further enhance my career to go to the managerial positions or the C-suites. The only reason why I get a relatively high income is because of the skill set I have rather than any other things. And if you are only depending on your technical skill, in your job, there is a limit to where you can get to in the job. Okay, because higher positions or further up, the positions further up requires a lot of relationship building, knowing the right person at the right time, building the right relationship, and if even taking being a bit more political or being much more political. All right, you need to do this, but I am not good at this and I have no desire to do that. I just want to finish my task, right? Socializing is not my cup of tea and I don't feel happy socializing and making political moves in a company. So there's also a glass ceiling or there's also a maybe concrete ceiling or to where I can grow within any company. So what am I working towards, right? And since I don't really enjoy my job, why am I still working? Okay, and there's another things, all right? So after COVID, okay, I mean, we are still in the pandemic is still here, right? So there's still a lot of people working from home, but from where I lived in, which is Singapore, the situation has more or less improved and we actually go back to office to work. So there was a period of time where we solely work from home, and I realized how much I love being at home and how much I enjoy working from home. And I know that the jobs that I am going into wouldn't allow me to work from home. And when COVID ends, they will be asking me to fly all over the place for my job. And I really love my home. So why should I be torn from my home just for a job? And next, think about this, right? Your home is your most expensive purchase, or is likely one of your most expensive purchase. For me, I believe it would be my most expensive purchase. So why are you spending so much on something if you are not spending as much time on it, right? So if you are busy working and you're not often at home, why do you need to spend money, so much money on your home, right? So this makes me realize that, hey, I really love being at home. I have low expenses. And if that's the case, why shouldn't I spend even more time doing what I like, that is being at home, right? So this is another reason that led me to quit my corporate job. Finally, one of the reasons is I have a backup plan. All right. Not because I have loads of money, loads of cash flow, loads of dividends from stocks and shares and so on, but because I'm married. Hi, thanks, husband. So I have cash flow from my husband who is working. Yeah, I mean, well, I'm definitely not trying to sponge him off, but hey, I don't really have a very high expense. And if I'm not working, most of our expense are shared expenses like for example, kids expenses, mortgages, and so on. Okay, and maybe insurance, healthcare, and food that are those that are maybe solely for myself. But if I have to look at it, actually I don't spend a lot. It's not too hard to support me, right? And more importantly, I realized that I'm working now, right? And I'm in middle income. When my husband and I were looking at, well, should we buy a landed property in Singapore? So in Singapore, land is very expensive because it's a very small country. So most of us live in government housing, okay, which is like an apartment. So my home is around 93 square meters. So and that's a typical area that people live in, okay. And if you if you're to buy an apartment from the government, it uh it costs around $500,000 Sing dollars. Okay, but if you were to upgrade to a landed property, it will be a few $1,000,000, excluding renovations and so on. So I was wondering, well, you see, based on me and my husband's current salary, we fall into the middle class income, right? And well, it will put us comfortably in uh government housing. Here we call it HDB flat. So we could afford a HDB flat comfortably in Singapore. Okay, but if we want to upgrade to a condo, that means a private apartment, or to a landed property, it would be a big stretch for us, even if both of us are working at this pace. And if that's the case, so in other words, right, if condo and landed property are a big stretch for us when both of us is working, and if I'm not working, it doesn't really affect our mortgage for our current public housing. Why should I be working when it doesn't really make a change to our lives, right? I mean, I so thanks to my husband, we I will be middle class whether I work or not. So why should I be working when I don't enjoy it? I mean, why should I be continuing in my corporate job where I don't really enjoy it, right? So these are some of the so I have covered the reasons why I left my corporate job. So there are some suggestions for you as well as for me. Okay, these are some of the things my framework of thinking that led me to quit. So I'd like to share with them. So hopefully if you're in my situation where you don't understand why you're working and you really want to quit, this could help you in your thought process. So what really made me think is the job is not the only way out. There are ways to make money apart from being in your job, right? Okay, there are some YouTubers. That is one of the reasons I set up YouTube, hopefully to make some money. But that's not the main reason. So I'll cover it in later videos. Okay, but remember that the job is not the only way out, and there are many options in life where you can still make a living without being in a corporate job. Okay, and if you don't like the job and you accept it as it is by being in the job, that means you're accepting it and you're okay with it. So in later parts of your life, don't regret it, all right? Because you have made a choice to accept it. So you either accept the situation where you in which you are, or you look for other ways. Remember, there is never just one way out. There are many options in life. Okay, don't fall into the trap of thinking that what you are doing is the only way. Okay, I hear a lot of people saying that, oh, I'm doing this because I have no other choice. This is the only way that I have. No, there is not just one way in life. There are many options. Okay, the way that you see or the way that you're being introduced to might not be the only way. It just takes effort and time to find them. Okay, so remember, you only live once. So live the life you want. Live it the way you want. So live your dream. Thank you, and I'll see you in our next video.